Super Tuesday is tomorrow. We're going to go to Washington, where Jerry Seib is standing by to give us a little bit of a primer of tomorrow, and also just sort of sum up for us. Mitt Romney clearly out in front and gaining some strength in the South. Jerry, how key is that right now as we do head into tomorrow's to be a big contest?
Well, two things to watch in particular tomorrow, I think. One is the state of Ohio is probably the most important of the Super Tuesday states, in the sense that it is a true bellwether of national politics. It's not the biggest state. That's actually Georgia, but that's Newt Gingrich's home state, and people just expect that he'll do well there. So the real battle is in Ohio between Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum. The second place to look is actually Tennessee. It's a southern state that Mitt Romney can win. He's closing the gap with Rick Santorum there, and I think that he has to establish that he can win in the industrial Midwest and in the South to really be the consensus front runner, and he can do that tomorrow. You know, the backdrop of this, Kelsey, is that we have a new Wall Street Journal NBC News poll in the paper today that shows nationally Mitt Romney has now strengthened his lead. He's moved out ahead 38% to 32% over Rick Santorum, and Newt Gingrich and Ron Paul are falling much further behind. So it's a two-man race, and one where it appears, at least nationally, that Mitt Romney's consolidating his position.
Jerry, you know, you've referred to that poll in the articles in today's Wall Street Journal, and one word jumped out at me, which was the word quoted by somebody as corrosive. In other words, you know, we've gotten to the point where Romney may be establishing himself as the front runner, or the one who can't be dethroned, just at a time that his position is weakest as far as the general electorate.
Well, in some ways that's right. I mean, what you've seen is the primary process doing what some Republicans have been fearing, which is to wear down all the candidates and the party. And you've got, while you have Mitt Romney consolidating his position, you have a 10-point drop since January in the percentage of Republicans who think they can actually win in November against Barack Obama. Partly that's because Barack Obama looks, because of the economic improvements you were just talking with Connor about, looks to be in better shape. Partly it's because of kind of a lack of enthusiasm for Mitt Romney. So that's a troubling sign. The other troubling sign for Mitt Romney is that he's not doing all that well among independents. Independent voters, the people who swing elections one way or the other in this country, have kind of a jaundiced view of him and the Republican Party right now. My cautionary note on that would be it's early. It's March. There's a long way to go. If he can consolidate the nomination early enough and give those independent swing voters a chance to take a second look at him in a different context, that can change again once we get to November.
And Jerry, you say Tennessee is sort of viewed as that southern bellwether. Is it key that he wins it for Romney, or is it just that he comes closer? Let's say if Santorum does win it, that he's just closing that gap. How key is the win here?
Well, I think he probably needs, it would be beneficial to Mitt Romney to win a southern state beyond Florida. Florida's a little bit of an aberration. He did win that. But the rap on Mitt Romney is that he's very weak in the South. He lost South Carolina very big to Newt Gingrich. He's never done well in southern states. The South happens to be a Republican stronghold. You really need to do well down there to win a national election. So I'm not sure that getting close in Tennessee is the same as winning a southern state if you're Mitt Romney. So that would be an important thing to do. It's not fatal if he doesn't win it. It's just that the combination, I think, of Ohio and Tennessee would make people step back and say, well, you know, this does look like the only candidate we've got with genuine national reach, and I think it would help close down the game for him.
And Jerry, also, one of the things that was important in the latest poll was that President Obama is 50% of approval rating. So is that all economy, or are people, even on some of the foreign policy issues that he's been criticized in some quarters for, are most people galvanizing behind him in a broader sense?
Or is this sort of this contest maybe wearing down the other candidates, as you were mentioning earlier? Is Obama picking up some momentum just from that?
Well, possibly, but I think it's 90% the economy. You know, Barack Obama's been getting pretty good readings from the public on foreign policy and national security all along. It's just been hidden beneath concerns about the economy. The number that I think drives the Obama approval rating in our poll is the question where we ask people, do you think the economy is going to get better over the next 12 months? In December, 30% of the people, and that's a low number, said, yeah, we think the economy is going to improve over the next year. Now, this month, that's up to 40%. That's not a huge gain, but there's a steady sense that you get that people are starting to believe that, as Connor was saying, maybe the economy's turned the corner, maybe we're not at the bottom anymore, maybe job creation is real. And the more that happens, the more you're going to see the Obama approval number tick up. 50% isn't great, by the way, but it's enough to get him there, and he had to get above that magic 50% mark at some point this year to have a chance. He's done that now.